Honorable Sayyid Fakhar Imam, Chairman, Parliamentary Committee on Kashmir, Professor Dr. Muhammad Asif Khan, who is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peshawar, Major General Sayyid Khalid Amir Jafri, Presidents Cgss, Mr. Ashfaq Ahmed Gomlal, former Federal Secretary, Mr. Khushnood Ali Khan, President CPNE, Dr. Minhas Majid Marwat, Chairperson of the Department of International Relations, University of Peshawar, respected faculty, dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Do you all know what the subject of today's conference is? How many of you know? एक बंदे ने हाथ खड़ा किया जी। हाँ जी, अच्छा जी। इनमें से एक खड़ा होकर बता दीजिए। आप बताएं। हाँ जी, बताएं। शाबाश, बैठिए। सब्जेक्ट है जी एक्सपोजिंग ट्रू फेस ऑफ फैशिस्ट इंडिया, पाकिस्तान्स कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव मीडिया स्ट्रेटजी। आज की जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है, इट इज अबाउट मीडिया स्ट्रेटजी. I just wanted to highlight that. Now, second, and I'll speak about that, that's why I just wanted to alert you. And I understand that all of you, or most of you, are from the International Relations Department. Is that correct? Anybody from the Political Science or all International Relations Department? So there are other disciplines too. First, I want to pay tribute to General Jafri and his think tank, because over the years, he's been holding these seminars which are structured around certain themes. And he's the one, and his think tank, who've been collating information, analyzing it, and submitting recommendations to the governments. He has been consulting people and inviting people from different walks of life. And he has tried to cover the entire political spectrum who can contribute to Pakistan's India policy or Kashmir policy. So congratulations, General Jafri. Second, I want to pay tribute to the people of KP, because they were the ones, as it was mentioned by Sayyid Fakhar Imam, that way back in 1947, your forefathers laid down their lives for the liberty and freedom of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. ताली ज़रा जोश खरोश से बजाना और इकट्ठे बजाना। और दूसरे ये है और अगर जी नहीं चाह रहा तो एक मर्तबा बजाना और आखिर में बजाना, अगर कहीं दरमियान में सुस्ती छा गई। Now, I also want to recognize Dr. Minhas Majid, because before becoming the President of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, I was Director General. I was Director General of the Institute of Strategic Studies, and she did her postdoc there. So we had the privilege of having her and make tremendous contribution to the work of the Institute. So thank you so much, Dr. Minhas. I'm addressing the students, and I can tell you that you're young, you have life ahead of you. Today, probably, you are worried about your scores and your grades and your GPA. But let me tell you that tomorrow, you will have to take responsibilities of leadership, and to craft the state as one of the most powerful and most prosperous states in the world. The reason I mention this is that all of you have to prepare yourselves well, because out there in the region and beyond, there is stiff and tough competition, and you would be called to respond to those challenges. Therefore, the first thing I would say to the students and to the faculty, that we must enhance our literacy about Jammu and Kashmir. We talk all the time about Kashmir. We sloganeer and we make passionate speeches, but our fundamental information about Kashmir is woefully inadequate. And therefore, I call it literacy. You must know all the facts about Kashmir. Let me start with the developments that have taken place since August the 5th. On August the 5th, India invaded the occupied Jammu and Kashmir, reoccupied it, bifurcated it, and then announced that it would colonize the entire territory. The Bharatiya Janata Party, backed by Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, announced that they would bring Hindus from all over India and settle them illegally in Kashmir so that they can change the demography of the region. Muslims are in majority in Kashmir, in the occupied territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and they want to reduce that majority into a minority. Let me tell you, the Indians are capable of reducing majorities into minorities. Way back in 1947, in this very month, the month of November, the Indian National Army, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the Dogra Army, and Hindu zealots, all of them, they killed and massacred and eliminated 237,000 Muslims. At that time, the percentage of the Muslims in Jammu was 61%. Today it is 33%. They want to repeat the same exercise. They want to incarcerate, send Muslims to concentration camps, and then eliminate them. Right now, as I talk to you, there is a genocide going on in Kashmir. And hundreds of thousands of people are being brutalized there. I can tell you that according to one estimate, which was made by the Indian Federation of Women, some 15,000 boys have been abducted. The mothers do not know where they are. They've just disappeared. But we know through the international media and through the Indian media that they are either in concentration camps or in the most notorious prisons in northern India, where they are being tortured. Boys as young as 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 are under detention. All the steps that were taken by India on August the 5th were illegal, and they violated international law, United Nations Security Council resolutions, international humanitarian law, and the Geneva Conventions. Let me talk about the reaction to the developments that have taken place since August the 5th. I am proud of the kind of reaction that was given by the people of Pakistan. The people of Pakistan, they stood up, they spoke for the rights of the Kashmiris, from Karachi to Gwadar to Lahore to Khunjarab to Muzaffarabad to Peshawar. Every city, town and village gathered and they expressed solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and we salute the people of Pakistan. Let me also pay tribute to all the political parties which gathered in the National Assembly, the joint session of the Parliament, where they passed a unanimous resolution supporting the cause of Kashmir and expressing their solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir, despite the fact that they have sharp political differences. But when it came to Kashmir, all the political parties were one. They had one stand. They had one voice. Now, let me also tell you that our government has done a tremendous job. As Sayyid Fakhr Imam Sahab said, that for the past 50 years, the United Nations Security Council was silent on Kashmir. But because of the initiative taken by the present government and because of the facilitation that was made by our friend, our strategic partner China, one session was held on August the 16th this year. This was an achievement. Not only that, the government tried to reach out to every head of state and government, every foreign minister, to sensitize them to the atrocities that were taking place in Jammu and Kashmir. And therefore, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the people of Azad Kashmir, and the people of the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir thank the present government for the initiatives that it has taken and the way they have raised the voice of the Kashmiris in the United Nations General Assembly. So thank you once again. The reaction of the world to these horrendous developments in the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has been mixed. The international media, for the first time, has spoken up for the Kashmiris and highlighted the misery and the sufferings of the Kashmiris. And influential world parliaments, including the European Parliament, the British Parliament, the US Congress, and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have strongly projected the catastrophe that is unfolding in Kashmir. We are thankful to the international human rights organizations. But the real tragedy is that while these parliamentarians and media persons and think tanks are speaking up and they are alerting everybody about the horrors that are taking place in Kashmir, powerful governments of the world, in fact all the nations of the world, with the exception of China, Turkey, Iran and Malaysia, are tight-lipped and silent. And that is our real tragedy, how to break that barrier of silence on Kashmir. Let me also tell you that India has not just occupied or reoccupied Kashmir and is brutalizing it and is colonizing it. It has threatened Pakistan with a war. It has said that it would attack Pakistan using nuclear bombs and disintegrate it. India has threatened that it would retake Azad Kashmir by force. India's Defense Minister Rajnath Singh gave that warning. And their Prime Minister has said that he would use nuclear bombs and obliterate Pakistan from the face of the earth by using what he calls mother of nuclear bombs. So what I want to say to you students, young students, and to the nation of Pakistan, that you have been warned, you have been forewarned. And to give the devil his due, the Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS do what they say. If they are saying they're going to attack you, they will attack you. If they are saying they will attack Azad Kashmir, they will attack Azad Kashmir. You've been warned. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your ears to these threats. Another phenomenon that we are facing today is Hindutva, as it was mentioned. Hindutva is what they're saying, the proponents of Hindutva, this new fascist doctrine, they're saying that India, the whole of South Asia, starting probably from Afghanistan to Myanmar, and from Nepal to Maldives is impure as long as Muslims live in this territory. And this, Muslims have to be expunged. This territory, this subcontinent has to be purified, cleansed. This is what they're saying. And some of my preceding speakers have highlighted what steps they have taken. They have disenfranchised 1.9 Muslims in Assam. They're going to replicate that experiment in other states. And they are saying that they would target Kashmir and Pakistan. Let me also tell you that awareness about Kashmir in the recent past has increased, and narrative about Kashmir has also changed. All is not dark. Let me tell you that in the aftermath of the developments of August the 5th, the world knows more about Kashmir. Mainstream international media have crafted and propagated that narrative. And as I mentioned, that despite that awareness raising, governments are silent. Powerful governments, the permanent members of the Security Council. But the most disappointing response has been from the United Nations Security Council. What are the dilemmas that we are facing? And one of the dilemmas is, and I want to share it with you very frankly, that there is no forum in the world which is engaged in a diplomatic process in regard to Kashmir. Kashmir is burning. There's genocide. And there's threat to peace and security in the region. But the United Nations Security Council hasn't held a session since August the 16th. And this month also the President of the Security Council did not schedule a discussion on Kashmir. And the bilateral regime is broken because India decided to take all these steps unilaterally. And there is no forum. Where should we go in regard to Kashmir? I've been using this term that we are suffering from echo chamber syndrome. I'm talking to you and I'm preaching to the choir because all of you agree that atrocities are being committed in Kashmir. And all of the distinguished panelists sitting on the podium, they know that Kashmir is suffering, Kashmir is bleeding. But do we have any third party? Do we have the United Nations which can come to our rescue? And that is a challenge for our diplomacy, and that is a challenge for our ingenuity. Now, I would say that for that, Pakistan cannot be blamed. Why should Pakistan be blamed? Isn't it the responsibility of the United Nations Security Council? Isn't it the responsibility of the United Nations Security Council to convene a session on this dire situation in Jammu and Kashmir in accordance with the United Nations Charter? Is it the responsibility of Pakistan and the people of Jammu and Kashmir to convene that session when we are not even a non-permanent member of the Security Council? So your world order is broken. We in Pakistan have two options. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have two options, simply two options. One is war and the other is diplomacy. And we have been pursuing diplomacy. And as far as the people of Jammu and Kashmir are concerned, they are in a state of war. They've been given sacrifices. In the past 72 years, they have sacrificed 500,000 people. And as it was pointed out, Dr. Minhas made a presentation, and later on, the two speakers who spoke before me, they've said that how women have been raped en masse. How today, when Indian soldiers conduct these midnight raids into the houses of Kashmiris, they threaten to molest Kashmiri women, and they say, we have conquered Kashmir and you are our property. You are spoils of war. We can take you away anytime we like. So what I'm saying is that Kashmiris are in a state of war, and therefore I would say Pakistan is in a state of war. We have fought 6 wars for the liberation of Kashmir, but these wars have not produced results. And diplomacy, we have been following diplomacy for the past 72 years. Now let me briefly enumerate some of the facts about Kashmir so that the students are clear. Kashmir is not a part of India. These Indian writers, they propagate this myth that it is an integral part. It is not an integral part, and I was having a short conversation with General Jaffrey a short while ago, and the instrument of accession, which was allegedly signed by the Maharaja of Kashmir, is a fake instrument. So it is an occupied territory. So never ever believe this false myth crafted by India that Kashmir is an integral part of India. Second, there is no terrorism in Kashmir. Be clear about it. When people protect and defend their homes and their women folk and their relatives and their neighborhoods, they are freedom fighters. They are freedom fighters. They are not terrorists. But according to Dilbagh Singh, Director General of Police of the Indian Occupied Territory, the number of these militants is 200 to 300. This is the statement that he gave last month. 200 to 300 militants pitted against 900,000 troops of the Indian Army. Is that a reasonable proportion, a reasonable symmetry? Pakistan is not interfering across the line of control. We are not sending any militants or terrorists, as they call them, across the line of control. We sent them back in the 1990s, no doubt about it. But because of the Indian fence and because of the policies that have been changed, there are no terrorist training camps either in Balakot or in Muzaffarabad or other parts of Azad Kashmir. Let me also tell you that India tries to propagate that there are many pro-independence elements in Kashmir, but there are very few pro-Pakistan elements. Not true. The majority of the people in Azad Kashmir and the majority of the people in the Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir want to join Pakistan. They love Pakistan. And let me tell you, there was the slogan given by Sayyid Ali Gilani, and I want to repeat that slogan. He said, "Hum Pakistani hain, Pakistan hamara hai." Now I would come to the crux of the subject. Because Zalzala, Sunye. This is acoustic earthquake. Now let me tell you, what kind of strategy should we have? And we should have a strategy for the young and the old, for all citizens of Pakistan. And this is the strategy and outline that I suggest, and I can elaborate it for General Jaffrey later on, because he prepares these very comprehensive reports. I would say that craft a new narrative on Kashmir, and you can interface with the international community in this regard, because the international media has crafted this narrative for you. Second is that Pakistan's media has come of age. It has skills, whether it is television networks or social media, and you watch these primetime programs and the way they mangle each other with such deftness and skill. If these skills are used for exposing India, our media teams would be formidable. I can tell you that I was in Turkey a short while ago, and I was in Doha also In Turkey, in TRT alone, I met 32 Pakistani professionals who were trained here in Pakistan, and they are running TRT. So you are capable people, and you have these media skills, and you have sinews and communication that you can use. And I would say use social media, reach out to the media and think tanks, use parliamentary diplomacy. I don't want to dilate on that, because parliaments right now are ready to listen to your narrative and to propagate it. I think some 8 weeks ago I was in the European Parliament, and there's a group which is called Friends of Kashmir group in the European Parliament, and there in that conference that we held, these European parliamentarians were loudly demanding that travel and trade restrictions and sanctions should be imposed against India. You didn't have this kind of atmosphere or culture in Europe before August the 5th. I would also say again, political influence, where decisions are being made, make Pakistan a strong state. We're trying to build Azad Kashmir into a strong, viable economy. I would say that political stability in Pakistan is a sine qua non, a precondition for any success on Kashmir. If there is political volatility in Pakistan, that wipes Kashmir off the screens of Pakistan. For God's sake, try to understand that. You may raise this issue and you tell the entire world to give attention to the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, and you are so embroiled in your feuds and your confrontations that Kashmir disappears from the television screens and is relegated to the back pages of your newspapers. And then you ask the world to pay attention to Kashmir. You'll have to think about it. The people of Pakistan, therefore, have to forge unity. Talking to young men and women, I would say, rise. ना बहुत हो गया, कहा कि पाकिस्तान में ये कसूर है, वो कसूर है, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हमारे बड़े भी ख़राब थे, दरमियानी उम्र के भी लोग ख़राब हैं, बच्चे बच्चियाँ भी सिर्फ शिकवा शिकायत करते हैं। उठो, अपनी तकदीर को अपनी हाथ में लो और पाकिस्तान की तकदीर बदल डालो। और मैं ये कहता हूँ कि अपने आप को जंग के लिए तैयार करो, और ये जंग दो किस्म की होगी। एक इल्म की जंग होगी, क्योंकि इल्म की जंग के बग़ैर आप जंगें जीत नहीं सकते, और दूसरी जंग जो है आपकी अस्करी जंग है। लेकिन अस्करी जंग के सिलसिले में मैं ये आपको बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि एक जंग आपके ऊपर मुसल्लत कर दी गई है। हिंदुस्तान ने कहा है कि ये जंग हम आपके ऊपर मुसल्लत करेंगे और बड़े सगीर के तमाम मुसलमानों के ऊपर मुसल्लत करेंगे। तो मैं ये आपसे कह रहा हूँ कि जो मोहन भगवत है राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ का, वो लाखों नौजवानों को और लड़कियों को तैयार कर रहा है, उन्हें बंदूक की ट्रेनिंग भी दे रहा है और उनकी नज़रियाती तरबियत भी कर रहा है। तो आप नौजवान को इस किस्म की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? नहीं कर रहे हैं, मुझे मालूम है आप नहीं कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अगर नहीं कर रहे हैं, हिंदुस्तान के जो राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ कह रही है, अभी मैं जिहाद के बारे में भी बताता हूँ। दूसरी बात यह है, जिस्म आपके तवाना होने चाहिए और नज़रिया दुरुस्त और किबला भी दुरुस्त होना चाहिए। इसके लिए तरबियत की ज़रूरत होती है। लेकिन मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ कि जिस जंग के लिए आप सब लोग तैयार बैठे हैं, यानी इस वक्त आप ऐलान करते हैं ज़बानी कलामी, लेकिन जंगें तैयारी से लड़ी जाती हैं। जंग आपके ऊपर मुसल्लत है, और मैंने लोगों को कहा है कि जब आप जिहाद का नाम लेते हैं तो साथ साथ आपको हुजूर अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का नाम लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसवाए हसना के मुताबिक, हुजूर की सुन्नत के मुताबिक आपको जंग लड़नी होगी। क्या उन्होंने कभी कोई जारहाना जंग लड़ी, उनकी तमाम जंगें दिफाई जंगें थी, उनकी तमाम जंगें इस्लाम की अक़दार के दफ़ा के लिए जंगें थी। ये बात दुरुस्त है। तो उसवा-ए हसना के लिए अच्छा, फिर दूसरे हुज़ूर अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कोई जंग बग़ैर हिकमत अमली के लिए नहीं लड़ी, इसीलिए 300 लोग 1000 पे भारी होते थे। खुदा का मौज़ा भी शामिल हुआ होगा, लेकिन इसमें हुज़ूर अकरम की हिकमत अमली भी शामिल होती थी। उस किस्म की मनसूबाबंदी की ज़रूरत है। आपको ये भी खुशखबरी देता हूँ कि मेरी तकरीर ख़त्म होने वाली है। अभी एक सफ़ा बाकी है। तो मैं आपसे ये कहूँगा कि ये जंग तब हम लड़ सकेंगे जब पूरी की पूरी रियासत पाकिस्तान दिफाई तौर पर मजबूत हो, कौमी सलामती को आप यकीनी बनाएं, अपनी मईशत के ऊपर तवज्जो दें, तालीम का बोलबाला करें, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज़ सीखें। और न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज़ में ये मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी आई है, जो मशीन लर्निंग, ऑटोमेशन, रोबोटिक्स, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, क्रिप्टो करेंसी, इस किस्म की जो उफ़क़ पे नई टेक्नोलॉजीज़ नज़र आ रही हैं, इनके बारे में अपने आप को तैयार करें ताकि आप जो है लीप फ्रॉग करें, एक जस्त लगाएं जिसमें आप जो तरक्की याफ्ता अक़वाम की सफ़ में खड़े हो जाएं। तभी आप मुक़दमा कश्मीर पूरे यकीन के साथ, पूरी हिम्मत और हौसले के साथ लड़ सकते हैं और फिर जीत भी सकते हैं। Do not pursue a reactive or defensive policy. Always be proactive. और ये भी मैं आपको बताऊं कि this is the resolve of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Those who are laughing or giggling, I would say, please pay attention to what I'm going to say. Listen. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have been fighting this war for liberty and freedom and self-determination for the past 200 years. And they haven't given up, and they haven't capitulated, and they have vowed that they would get their liberty under all circumstances. And Sayyid Ali Gilani, our leader, said that India has deployed more than half of its armed forces in the occupied territory, but he has challenged, and this challenge has been given by the people of Jammu and Kashmir, that if you deploy even the entire strength of your army, even then we will not capitulate. You have to understand this message from the Kashmiris. So I want to tell you that if they haven't capitulated, if they are giving lives, the people of Pakistan, young men and women of Pakistan, I appeal to you, do not be defensive, do not be defeatist, do not capitulate under any circumstances. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah propounded the two nations theory, and he delivered on that. And because of the struggle of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his associates and his political party, you are free today. You are not being brutalized. You are not being committed. You are not being subjected to atrocities. So now the time has come again to prove the validity of the two-nation theory. You should not be dehumanized and demonized because you're Muslims. So what I tell you, that a storm, a tornado, or a fascist tsunami is moving towards you. Prepare yourself, brace yourselves to combat that threat that is heading your way. Only last 2 points. One is that think tanks, like General Jaffrey's think tank, right now they're in the phase of understanding the phenomena of Hinduism or Hindutva or what has happened in Kashmir. I think that they should make a transition from understanding to recommendations. They should come up with blueprints which should be submitted to the government, to the state of Pakistan, so that we start succeeding. We should not continue to speak all the time about our failures and foibles. We should start talking about success. We should give this hope of success to our younger generation. I say that we should banish this talk about failure, put success on the table and start achieving it. And my final advice to all the leaders of Pakistan is that don't give this impression of imbecility, hopelessness, powerlessness, these infantile interpretations of what is wrong with our state. Because if we do that, then the young men and women would be discouraged. And they would think that we are not capable of becoming a great nation. We are not starting from scratch. I have told many audiences that way back in 1947, the people of Azad Kashmir and the people from the valiant tribes of KPK liberated that territory we call Azad Kashmir, 13,300 square kilometers, and later 73,000 square kilometers of Gilgit-Baltistan without any resources. We didn't have guns, we didn't have money, but we established our command and control system and we defeated the formidable armed force of the Maharaja of Kashmir. And again, I say that between 1948 and 97, these 10 or 9 years, Pakistan was a weak state. It was a newborn state, and nobody was sure of its existence. And at that time, with ingenuity, with conviction, we were able to get 12 resolutions passed from the Security Council. And today, Pakistan is a nuclear weapon state. And Pakistan is respected in the Committee of Nations. Its economy has problems, but we have a bright future ahead. So my appeal to you is that move to the driving seat and move Pakistan to the greater heights that it deserves. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.